Today I fucked up by helping my boyfriend clean up his phone. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/today I fucked up stories posted on Reddit. Today I fucked up by helping my boyfriend clean up his phone. This just happened and I'm hiding in the bathroom because of how nauseated I feel. I, 21 female, was helping my BF, 27 male, clean up his phone cause I'm a little more tech savvy than him. He wanted me to delete photos of random nonsense and put all of the photos he has of me in a folder. He has a Samsung phone and what he didn't know is that along with the gallery app he also had Google Photos. He has obviously had the Google Photos app on all his previous phones, as there are photos from 2015. I showed him how the app backs up photos and even if they are deleted from the phone they stay in the account. He got really excited as he found photos of a family member who had passed just a few weeks ago. So I continued on deleting photos of pointless screenshots and accidental pocket photos. Well, of course I found some old exes in the photos, pictures of them kissing, hugging. Not the greatest thing to see but whatever. Well, there are also nudes of other girls. Now I know for a fact he had no idea about these and I can't really fault them, but it's so hard not to compare myself. He has photos of me, so it's not super surprising that he receives some from other girls, but I already feel like he is so out my league and seeing these girls proves it even more. He always says I'm out of his league but I'm not, honestly. Then to top it all off I found some screenshots of texts from one of these girls talking about how he wanted to marry her and how much he loved her and all that. I know this is completely my fault. He has absolutely no idea that these screenshots from 2017 are in here, but God, it makes me feel like absolute garbage. My stomach is in a huge knot and I want to vomit and I can't say anything because obviously he had past relationships, as do I, and he's done nothing wrong, but God, does it hurt. Today I fucked up by taking my sister in to get her car fixed. My teenage sister lives with me, and we recently gifted her a new, to her, car as soon as she got her license. It needed new brakes, tires, and a few other minor bugs needed to be addressed like the turning signal. My husband suggested we take it into the Buick dealership in town, so she made a call to set up an appointment. The guy said they're backed up at least a week, but if it was an emergency or she didn't feel safe driving, she could bring it in and then they would find time to mess with it. We drove to the dealership, her following me because she didn't have GPS. I noted that the dealership was on X corner, and pulled in. The guy at the service counter said that they were really busy and backed up for weeks. We mentioned what the other guy had said over the phone, and he told us he would find time. We signed some paperwork, handed over her keys, and ran some other errands. She even noted how weird it was that we didn't get a ticket or something like when you check in a coat. I told her, well, it's not like one of the mechanics is just going to drive away with an old Buick, haha. We got a call later in the day from the service department giving her an estimate on price, work needed, and time. He'd have it ready by the next afternoon, today, because he noticed some other minor things that needed fixed from it sitting too long. She called this morning, and the mechanic at the service department said that he didn't have a Buick in his shop. She gave her name. He said she wasn't in the system at all. He checked for my name, the make and model of the car, and no results. He said the same team was working the front counter and shop as yesterday, and nobody remembers a bubbly teen or her mom at all. We all panicked. The man said he would call us with more information if it came up, but essentially they had no record of having done business with us at all. My husband was equally worried, as the car is still in his name. After a couple of hours of anxiously waiting around for a phone call, he and my sister drove to the dealership in a panic. We weren't sure if we would have to call the police for a stolen vehicle or not, and my sister was already mourning the loss of her new baby. They pulled into the parking lot of the Buick dealership and my sister said, this isn't the right place. Apparently we managed to call one dealership and took her car to the one directly next door. In my defense, most of the dealerships in my town are down one stretch of road that's particularly high in traffic, and they're all named after people for some reason. The guys at the shop were awesome though, and had a good laugh at our expense. They had even gone through the trouble of washing her car for her, and remembered her by name. Today I fucked up by scarring my niece and nephew for life. So I finally got to take both my niece and nephew for a night, and was eagerly awaiting to smash them in Mario Kart. I bring them to my apartment and the excitement amongst us is palpable. We are going to watch movies and play games. But these kids live in the country and aren't used to being in a city, so when we get to my apartment they want to walk around downtown. We started on our walk and they are amazed by the government buildings in my neighborhood. We start horsing around and I get tagged, so I quickly tag my niece. Deftly dodging her grasp, I escape and start to run. I look back to check on her pace, and as I turn back forward, I am suddenly stopped. All of the sudden I am on the ground and I look up and see a light post made of stone and immediately start laughing as I realize that I had just ran full force into a pole, Looney Tunes style. I roll over and start to get up and I am still giggling, and I look at my niece and nephew and they have horrified looks on their faces. I look down as I see blood sprinkling on the pavement. I wipe my face and see my hand is covered in blood. I feel the warmth running down my face. I tell them everything is okay. I am not really hurt. They don't believe me and I tell them not to look at it. Taking my shirt off to slow the bleeding and cover it up, I tell them we need to cut our walk short so I can clean this up. We walk back the block and half back to my apartment, all the while they are telling me stories of when they were hurt, trying to comfort me. Meanwhile I am trying not to laugh at the ridiculousness of this whole situation. We get back to my apartment and I put Mario Kart on for them so I can check on this wound. I got into the bathroom and see that I am soaked in blood, and I have a deep cut through my left eyebrow. Into the meat, the bleeding has slowed. I probably need stitches, but I have the next best thing. I reach into the medicine cabinet and grab my crazy glue. It says right on the label, "Warning, bonds skin instantly." Perfect. I dab some rubbing alcohol on the wound and the remaining blood, and start to apply the glue while using my other fingers to press the wound together as I go. As the glue starts to dry, I wave my hands furiously to fan air on my face to expedite the drying process. When the glue is holding, I grab a band-aid to cover the wound so as not to traumatize them further, which is when I turn to grab my shirt and realize my bathroom door has been opened and my niece and nephew are staring in the doorway. Jaws dropped and eyes glazed in shock. I again tell them that I am okay, reassure them that we can go back to hanging out. After a few minutes of them seeing that I am not in any form of distress, they start to relax. Immediately I realize that I can make them dinner, and within no time I have them distracted from the recent memory, and transfixed on the coming meal. Now we are about to watch a movie, while I sit on the left side of the couch so they can't see the wound, and I try to nurse my broken ego. Don't leave me with your kids. Today I fucked up by talking about true crime. So yesterday during my Zoom class, we were doing an activity where we were practicing being a listener and speaker. Basically we were paired off into breakout rooms and we're just going to talk for 2 minutes about something we're passionate about. The first thing that popped into my head was a true crime documentary that I just watched. I decided to just summarize it to my partner for 2 minutes. Nothing crazy, just a synopsis. Too bad I forgot that my professor was in the breakout room with me. Shortly after, I received an email from my professor expressing her concern about the topic I chose and the language I used. She explained that the topic I chose could be potentially triggering and inappropriate. I also cursed some time during my talk, and that was a big no-no. She requested that I meet with her next week to talk about sensitivity and professionalism. So now I'm just freaking out because I just started this grad program and I'm already not making a good impression. Wish me luck as I hate myself this weekend and think of worst case scenarios. Today I fucked up by impersonating a jerk guy's bad sentences from a viral video. I was in chemistry class, and like usual, I was in the back seats with the boys. The teacher gave us class assignment, so everyone was busy with their notebooks except for the boys in the back. I watched a YouTube video with my seatmate, and it was a viral funny reel video of a jerk guy that bravely prevents motorcycle traffic rule breakers. For the background, in my country, especially drivers in my city are infamous for breaking the law, driving on the wrong direction to get faster shortcut, cutting through pedestrian walkway to overtake traffic jams, running through red lights, etc. The guy will bravely stop the outlaws in front of their motorcycles, and insults them. The video was so funny, from the combination between the suspect's attempt on justifying their acts, and the explicit insults this guy throws. After the video ended, I laughed with my friends, and I said and impersonated a part of that video in the end, something like this if it'll be in English: "Haha man, that was so funny yet really bad," as I believe there is a much more polite way to warn those drivers, especially on the last one when he stops that poor old motorcycle driver. This is where I start to impersonate the line and intonation of that guy. "Yo. Stop man, look at you, an old man which will die shortly, yet you're still trespassing. Just go die man. Here's the fucked up part, right when I started to impersonate that line, the noisy class simultaneously went silent, and my voice went so loud, crystal clear, and audible by all people including my teacher in the class, look at you, an old man which will die shortly, yet you're still trespassing? Just go die man. And my chemistry teacher was known to suffer to heart diseases, and that fucking bad luck RNG situation made everyone misinterpret me as if I was literally saying that sentence, which was aimed towards my teacher. Everyone went silent and stared me, my teacher stared me and his face went shocked and sad at the same time. I can see that he was in sorrow, he can't go angry at all. I was panic as hell and felt so guilty. Right after the class was finished, I went to him, telling him the real story behind that there was no single attempt for me to insult or wishing bad things to him, especially with his current health situation. Right after that tragedy, I never be a loudmouth boy again. It gave me a slight traumatic experience. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.